Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and I have a little message of love for you today. And the main part of this message that I really want to bring across to you is this. Everything is going to be okay. Maybe you feel this deep in your bones. Maybe you're hopeful that this will happen. Maybe you feel like it's completely not true, and you're caught in this cycle of hopelessness and despair and desperation because we live in a time of intense change. And intense change as humanity as a whole is a big deal. It's a big thing. And what we're going through collectively, wherever you sit on any issue that's swirling around the world, or even in your own country, even here in the US, wherever you fit in the things that you believe and the perception you have of what's happening, you know that there are big, intense changes happening. And change is hard for humans. But here's what I have really come to realize, a couple of really big, beautiful things. First of all, we needed some change. We needed something to wake us up out of our stupor of not taking good care of our health, of just going through life, not paying attention to our responsibilities, our finances. And this is not every person, but this is collectively. Even people who were maybe taking care of things, we were still walking through life kind of numb, and we were doing things without purpose. And this has given us an incredible opportunity to realize that each of us has a purpose, and each of us has this innate piece of us that wants to be a part of the whole, no matter what that looks like. And I also think that this has given us an eye-opening view that we are all different and we are all beautiful and we're all equal. It really doesn't matter what you believe. If you believe something that's going to maybe hurt someone else's idea of what they believe, then maybe that does matter, especially if someone's trying to push something on you. But regardless of all that, I think what is happening is that the tide is turning. And I think that people are realizing we are one collective, beautiful humanity. We're connected to Mother Earth. We're connected to each other. We need to depend on not just ourselves and our families, but our communities. This is where we have places where we have purpose, and what things that we need, we can take care of each other. This is how it's always been. And I think that this has been the shift that humanity has needed. So if you're maybe not there to the point where you think everything's going to be okay, I want you to think about this. Maybe you have let yourself be programmed by all of the information out there. And here's the thing. We as humanity, modern humans, have been programmed for decades. We have been conditioned to think that violence and all these things that we see in the movies and on TV and all of these things that are really not normal, we have been conditioned to think that all of these things are normal. That's not our normal state. Our normal state is love and abundance and service to each other and being together with each other. Like, this is our normal state, going out into nature and meditating and taking care of our physical bodies, having really quiet times where we get to just maybe sit in nature and let ourselves daydream. Like, those days are actually really coming back from what I see, and they're beautiful. So I think if you've been caught in this rhythm of feeling like things are not okay, from the place where I sit and from what I see, the people that I talk to, I know without a shadow of a doubt, with deep inside my being, that we as humanity are going to be okay. And not only that, we're going to thrive. And we're going to go into this thriving, this next phase, with our eyes wide open. And we're going to make different choices because we've been woken up. We've been shaken to our core. And I'm not talking about just some of us. I think all of us have been shaken. Some of us might not understand exactly what is happening. Maybe they're watching not the wrong things. Maybe they're just watching things that maybe keep them stuck and vibrating in places that keep them feeling hopeless and desperate without realizing the power they have over their own life and their intention and how you walk in the world. I mean, you are here, you are alive, you are breathing and this vibrant, beautiful human being. And it's time to start acting that way, like on a full level, everyone, myself included. It's time to stop vibrating in any kind of fear, whatever your fear might be. And when we set the intention of unconditional love and we walk through our day that way, there's a beautiful thing about acting as if. So in your imagination, visualize what the world is exactly how you want the world to look, down to the detail. Maybe do this in a meditation. Maybe do just close your eyes and envision how you want the world to look. And do this every single day. And then once you do this visualization, then step into your day and act as if. Act as if the world is exactly as you imagined it. And things will start to change, because when you act that way, your intention and your vibration completely changes the people you interact with on every level. It changes the decisions you make during the day, the habits that you start to create that maybe you wanted to put into place for a long time. This changes everything about how you walk through your life. And you then don't stress about the stuff. Now be active in the things that you believe in. I'm not talking about don't stress about those kinds of things. I'm talking about take the action and then don't stress. In fact, here's a really cool little story that I'll end with. I just spent the weekend with my lovely niece. She lives a few hours away, and she came up, and we just had this lovely weekend. She is an adult. She's 40, and we just had this connection. We talked about world events. We talked about the beauty of humanity. We talked about vibrating in love and changing our perspective and our intentions. It was just this most beautiful weekend. And this is a girl who's very active in making sure that in her community, the local leaders know what the people want. And she's very active. So while she was here, she actually wrote a bunch of letters letting the people in her community know, the people that are in charge of fire departments and health departments and governments and representatives in her community, inviting them to a gathering of the citizens, and wanted to let them know that they were invited to participate and not be left out of what is happening. And she wrote these beautiful letters. She hand addressed them all, and she did all this while she was here. And then we went and we bought some stamps, and I went with her to the post office to mail them. And we sat in the car, and before we put these letters into the mailbox, we literally held the letters, we put our hands both over them, and we said a prayer that these would go with the proper intent, with the intent of love and progress and purpose, and that it would touch the hearts of these people who are in charge, making decisions. And you set this intention, and it completely changes everything about what you do. And this is just a small example, but when you give loving attention and you actually say a prayer, a blessing, set whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do, this is much different than you writing something full of anger and full of words that are going to basically turn someone off and away from maybe your perspective, because we can disagree on things as humans. But if we're able to actually come in with loving intention, even a simple prayer of gratitude, a simple prayer of what your intention is, can completely shift the energies, not just of what you do, but with the people that you come in contact with. This is very powerful. And there's been all kinds of studies that show that when a collective group of people actually do things like pray or meditate together for one common cause, that it shifts and changes the energy of the whole planet. And it's amazing when you really start thinking about that. So do some research into your own self, your own soul, and realize that truly everything is going to be okay. Collectively, on a global level, because we're so connected with technology, we have woken up. So thank you for being there. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.